Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be, or good evening or good night. This is Jen at JensArtyInclinations, a place to create, share and play.
Hello. All right, so I just am showing you some of the windows that I like to do in books. This is my first one, just in an altered book. And as you can see, the windows kind of revealed as they went through, and we went to this lovely little back page with lots of fun bits in it. This is another one I've done recently in one of my altered books, and again I've used circles. I've got a circle cutter that does different size circles, which is how I did these. And I did a couple in this book, as you can see. So one with, lots of journaling. Obviously, I love the butterflies on the circles. So pretty easy. You can just pop the butterflies in to peek through as you do after. I like that little effect. Or it can just reveal a bigger picture, or you can go big to small. Just showing you a few different ways I've done them recently. And I want to share a little technique that I use to make it easier to cut them out. All right, so I'm just bookmarking my page. I've chosen my pages that I'll be doing my little windows in. And I discovered that these were quite thin pages, so I just wanted to stick them together just to give them a little bit more structure. I discovered when I was doing the last little butterfly peek through you saw, it was quite flimsy, even though it works nicely like that because the butterflies flutter as you're going through. I just find that I prefer to have the structure. They just last a little bit better. So I just glue 2 pages together with a glue stick, and then I use my bone folder, and I make sure that they'll fold both ways. So I use my bone folder both ways to make sure that they're going to turn and, fold nicely. All right, so here I've obviously decided that you need to see every single page stuck down. Sorry about that. Oh dear. But you get the gist. So I did use a mix of glue stick and a little art glitter glue around the edge. If you are using art glitter glue with really thin pages, you do need to make sure that you spread it before you stick it down. Otherwise, you will get a little bit of show through from the glue. Anywho, you'll be happy to know I just went back and did a quick edit and saved you from having to see every single page stuck together. But here's my result. So I decided I'd just use, I think I've got 5 or 6 pages. Now, what I want to show you is a really easy way that I've discovered recently that I can do these. I just paperclip the pages together so I know when I'm going to stop and when I'm going to start. And all I do is I grab one of those flexible cutting boards that we get for the kitchen, and I use those to put behind them. So I'm starting with the first one here. And see, that's just one of those, what I just said, flexible cutting boards. I used a little bit of washi tape to stick them down. Now, I used a washi tape that was a bit too sticky. I admit I don't always even stick them down, but I thought while I was doing a video, that's a better idea. So I did that, but I didn't do it for the others, and it still worked. But then all I do is I tear against my little frame. Now, what I'm using is die cut frames. So I've got a little set of die cut frames, and they're all in different sizes, and I decided I'd just go from the biggest to the smallest because I wanted the windows to reveal out to bigger images. They look really good when you do them the other way as well, but for this one I just thought I'd try it that way. But yeah, use your die cut frames. So oftentimes you can get circles, you can get all sorts of things. Now, if you don't have that, there are obviously lots of other ways to do it. I have done it where I have simply cut around a circle, and then I've, poked a hole in the middle with scissors, and I've carefully cut around that circle. I've had other times where I've used a little water brush around the edge of circles and very carefully torn that water edge. So there are a few different ways you can do it. I just think this is one of the easiest ways, and tearing is easy. But again, I could actually use my knife to carefully cut against that all the way around, either as a pencil drawn line or against this frame. So I'll just show you then what I do, because I want them to be within each other, what I do for the next one. So see how I can put the frame inside that first one so that I know where it's going to end up, and then I can put my cutting board under that side. So here I'm just having a little think about it. I've done the lining up, so I'm sticking it down, and then I'll move my cutting board over, just so that I've, not moving things around too much. And I'm just checking it again, of course, before I go through. So it's a really easy technique, and it's actually quite easy to have them sitting in the right place on each page. I thought you might like to have a play too. I'd love to see if anyone has a go of these. Remember, you can always pop them over in our Facebook group, which is Playing with Paper and Glue. Lynn's group that I help her look after with the other lovely ladies, Kylie at Kylie's Card Craft and Kathy over at her Instagram channels and so forth as well. And now we've got gorgeous Kerry at Which Craft Do You Do? So I've got all their links always in my description, so you can always go down and have a little look. That one you'll notice I cut the knife in 2 directions to see if that made it any easier. I don't think it did, but it was just an interesting, different way to do it. As you see, I'm literally doing the same with each frame. I'm just lining them up inside the previous one, and then I'm just tearing around. The main reason I've got the board under is so that I can just do that first slit with a knife, so that I've got a hole that I can use to actually tear out. But it's quite handy too, because you can see really clearly what you're actually tearing. So you can see really, really clearly the little window that you're tearing, so you can see how the edges are looking and so forth. So look, just to finish off, all I'm doing is rounding the corners, and I thought, that just makes it another cute little insert. You could even just very carefully trim down the edge of the pages to make it at a different level. And then I am simply inking around the edges. So I'm inking inside the frames and I'm inking outside. You could do this with watercolour paints as well. It's really cute when you do watercolour paints to make them different colours as you peek through, or all the shades of the one colour. That's really, really lovely. Or you can leave them plain, just as the book pages. Even using a texter to outline if you like an outline. So there you are. See the effect of how they all pop up on one side, and then looking through this way, they'll reveal each other. I hope you enjoyed. I really hope you have a go at doing your own, and I'll see you on the flip side. I'd love it if you could leave me a comment below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed what you saw today. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you next time. And in the meantime, keep creating. Enjoy!